Hi everyone, this is Sarah here. I've been a makeup artist for past 5 years now. Given this global reboot, for past few days I was trying to look for ways to sanitize every product in my makeup kit and ensure 100% hygiene while applying makeup on every client. Not just sanitizing the brushes, but every single item in my kit. Well, to my surprise, I couldn't find anything that was 100% on point. That's why I started doing my own R&D and thought of making this video to share what worked for me with all of you. So here we go. Okay guys, so these are the products and tools that I use in order to disinfect and sanitize my makeup product, each and every product in my kit, and in order to maintain hygiene. I'll show you each one of them one by one. All of these products and tools are easily available in the market and are inexpensive. Okay, so the first one that I have is an alcohol swab. Like I said, you can find it at any chemist, pharmacy, or any store that has medical supplies. This is priced at around 2 rupees each, which I believe is inexpensive compared to all the expensive makeup products that we have in our kit. Then there are these Q-tips, cotton pads. Then these are disposable wands for mascara. I believe it's a very important product to have in your kit. This is how it looks. Then we have a makeup spatula. This is how it looks. Again, very easily available in the market. Then another tool that I use is this ring palette. I absolutely love it. You can tell with the scratches that are there on the palette. It's very convenient. Like, this is how you wear it on your finger, and then you can just use your brush or applicator and apply it on your client. Then this is another palette for foundations, any liquids, creams that you may need to take out. Then we have the rubbing alcohol. I'm sure everybody is well aware of it. This is again available in any medical supply store. Now I have emptied my rubbing alcohol in an empty spray bottle. This is a MAC brush cleanser. I use it. It's very handy to use it when you're using a single brush for different makeup products. It is super convenient. Then this is a hand sanitizer. You can use any sanitizer that you may have. And this is a face mask. This, I think, is very important. Any artist, any makeup artist who's applying makeup on the client should be wearing this in order to maintain hygiene. Also, another thing that I would like to mention is that this is not just for makeup artists, but anybody who wears makeup on a regular basis, the artists, theatre artists, or makeup influencers. You need to have these products and tools in your kit in order to maintain hygiene and in order to make sure that your product doesn't get contaminated. Now, to start with, these are the products that I'm going to show you first, but before that I make sure that my hands are clean. So I wash them first and then I use a hand sanitizer. I make it a point to do this step in front of my clients before applying makeup on their face, so that they're sure of the fact that my hands are absolutely clean and sanitized. Now the products that I'm showing are moisturizer, primer, color corrector, foundation, highlighter or liquid illuminator, and concealer. Now for these products, what you do is that you take metal makeup palette, and you can very conveniently squeeze out these products, tube, or your pump bottle, or any product with a wand. I'll just show you how I do it. Now for a moisturizer, a moisturizer in a tube, you can just squeeze it out on the palette. The same way you can do it with the primer. And with your color corrector. Now, since the foundation is in a pump bottle, you can just pump out some liquid foundation on the palette. Another good thing about using a palette is that when you need to mix 2-3 shades of foundation, you can very easily and conveniently do it instead of doing it at the back of your hand. Same you can do with the liquid highlighter, and also if you want to mix the liquid illuminator with the foundation, you can very conveniently do it on a palette. Now with the concealer, I have on purpose used it, I wanted to show a concealer with a wand and not a tube or a pump, so that you guys know how you can take it out on a palette and not use the wand directly on your client's face. Otherwise you can really contaminate your product as well as harm your clients. Now for the palette, when you want to use it for application, I just fix it in my thumb, and then with the application brush you can take the product and use it on the client's face. Now for your powders, any powders that you have, what you can do is that you take a spatula and instead of dipping the sponge directly in the container, you can just take some out on your palette. And then you can just dip your sponge on the palette and use it on your client. Okay, now for your pressed powders like your compact, your contour powder or your blush on, you can use rubbing alcohol. I have emptied some in an old spray bottle. That way it's easier to spritz it. Now how you use it is that you take your product and just spritz some rubbing alcohol on it. Another way is that you take a cotton pad and you just wipe the top layer, the top surface of your product, and then again spritz some rubbing alcohol on it. Usually rubbing alcohol takes about 30 seconds to evaporate, and that way you can just be sure that your product is absolutely disinfected and ready to use on your next client. So for products that are in pots, it could be like I'll just show you this Soft Ochre from MAC paint pot, the Black Truck gel eyeliner, and then this Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Pro pomade. For products like these, it could be a cream eyeshadow also. For these products, what you can do is that you take your makeup spatula and you take any of your palette. I prefer the ring palette because it's easier to apply liners while you worn it on your finger. Now I'll show you how I take the gel eyeliner. The spatula has two sides, the flat end and the sharp end. I'll take the pointed end because I feel it's easier to scrape out the product from a pot or any container like this. Yeah, so you take out the gel eyeliner on your ring palette, and then with your eyeliner brush you can just mix the product and use it for application. Now I'll take out my ring palette. So the same you can do with the Soft Ochre paint pot and your Dip Pro pomade or any other, like I said, any other product in the container. Now you can see that my ring palette is dirty. Now in between application of makeup products, you need to clean these. So what I will do is that I take an alcohol swab and I'll just wipe my ring palette so that it's clean as well as disinfected and ready to use for my next makeup application. Okay, so now for your single eyeshadows, pressed glitter, what you can do is that after you've used it on your client, you just take your eyeshadow and the rubbing alcohol that you have in a spray bottle, just spritz some on it. Leave it for a few seconds, let it dry and close it. Another way is if you don't have a spray bottle, you take the rubbing alcohol on a cotton pad. I have some on this one. And then you take your eyeshadow and gently dab it on it, making sure it's clean and disinfected and ready to use for the next client. Now I'll show you the lipsticks. The three kinds are a gloss, a liquid cream, and a regular lipstick. Now for this, you can take your ring palette, and now if you need to use the gloss on your client, you just take some out on the ring palette.
And with a lipstick applicator, a lipstick brush, you can just apply it on your client. I personally believe that your lips and eyes are the two areas which can contaminate the makeup products of any artist, any makeup artist the most. So you have to be extra careful. This way, again, like I'm showing you, you can do it for the liquid lipsticks. Make sure you don't use the wand directly on your client. It can really harm your products as well as the skin of your client. And for your regular lipstick, you can take a makeup spatula. You can scrape some lipstick out on your ring palette, and again with a lipstick brush, you can easily use it. Now this one's really important on how to use a mascara on your client without making the wand come in direct contact with the client. So what I do is I take out the wand and I wipe it on the sides. Now I take a disposable wand and I just put it in the container and twist it so that the mascara comes on the brush. And now it's ready to use on the client. If you use the wand directly, it will be very unhygienic. You should never do that because it is harmful for your client as well as it will contaminate your product. Now for the lashes, what I usually do is that you take a lash glue and you squeeze some out on a palette. Avoid taking it out on the back of your hand because again it's unhygienic and we have to make sure that we can take care of as much hygiene as possible. Then you take the lashes, and I usually take the backside of any brush that I have or any wand to apply the glue. You can use an applicator if you have. So you apply the glue on the backside, which is obvious, and then you just let it air dry. Or if you have the vent of an air conditioner or a fan nearby, that's the best thing to do. You should never blow directly on the lashes because if you're blowing directly and then putting it on the eyes of your client, that's extremely unhygienic. So yeah, once the glue is dry, you can apply it and yeah, good to go. Now for your pencils, your lip pencils or kajal pencils, what I would suggest is that you take an alcohol swab. And after you have used it on your client, just take the pencil and wipe the tip with the swab, making sure that you've cleaned it and disinfected it. I would suggest that you do it after applying it on your client so that you protect your product from getting contaminated till you use it the next time. This can be done for all sort of pencils, kajal pencils, liner pencils, any pencil. Another product is eyelash curler. I think this is also very important. You have to make sure that it is clean and disinfected after every use. So what you can do is that you take an alcohol swab and you wipe the band of the eyelash curler with the swab from the front as well as the back, making sure it's clean and disinfected. For your eyeshadow palette also, what you need to do is after you've used it on your client, you just take your rubbing alcohol spray, spritz it on your palette directly, let it dry for a few seconds, let it evaporate. And then you can just close it. This way, again, you have disinfected your product.
So that's it guys. That's all you gotta do to sanitize every makeup product in your kit and ensure 100% hygiene. I know it's gonna be a little tedious initially, but we gotta change with changing times. And this certainly is the need of the hour. If you guys found this useful, please share it within our makeup community to raise awareness and let more people benefit from it. Thank you and take care.